Hello and welcome to Love Island the morning after, the only official Love Island podcast. Now, I have some great news, guys. Amy Hart is back.
I'm back.
Woo!
I am delighted to be back with my queen, Indiyah, my podcast princess, Jo.
Hi.
But I come with exciting news. Today we'll be speaking with our dumped islanders, Samie, Elishi and Danielle Sellers.
What, today?
Yes, once we've been through last night's Phill action, we'll be linking up with them from a sexy South African hotel.
Okay, well, we've got lots to get into, so let's dive into it on a 3, 2, 1.
Oh, out of time.
We tried.
We haven't got time. Right.
For the last few years, everyone knows I probably haven't felt any way about anyone. And I'm just grateful for you making me believe in all this again.
Aww.
The girl I'd like to couple up with is Grace.
So last night's show ended with a recoupling.
Yes.
Luca chose Grace and he said, for the past few years, I haven't felt any way about anyone. She's made me believe again. When I saw how upset she was, I promised I'd do everything I can to make sure that never happened again. Do we believe that?
Never ever.
Ever? Or does he just mean never ever in the villa? Are there T's and C's apply?
T's and C apply, but not to Luca. I think that's more of a Grace thing.
Right.
Quite frankly, they've got a week left. And I feel like over the past few days, there's been a lot of back and forth of Luca having to prove to himself and to Grace that, I'm all for you, you're the one.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's going to be smooth sailings. And in this way, they have been doing little cutesy stuff together. Do you know what I mean? They've been
they have
sleeping out in
been.
daybed and
Yeah.
it's like, I guess.
They had their first camping holiday.
They did. The 3, 2, 1, clap, clap. I think she made me believe again. Obviously, it's a lot deeper than what I thought and have
Yeah.
been thinking all week. I mean, good for them. I think they'll make it till the end. Just the outside was very different, isn't it? But
Yeah.
as he said, he hasn't been with anyone since Gemma, basically. Is that what he's saying?
Yeah,
Since his
more or
season.
less.
More or
serious.
less, yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe Love Island is the place that Luca Bish finds love.
Well, that's what it's for.
I was actually listening on a slight digression, but it does apply to Luca, like you just said. I listened to your episode with Ron the other day.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
And I love that normally when we ask people, why did you go in a second time? They always say, oh, it didn't work out for me. I love how he went, well, it worked the first time, so it should have worked the second time.
Which is
and Luca, it literally has worked the first time and has worked the second time.
Yeah.
And he didn't change his direction. He's done the exact same thing.
Same formula.
Same formula.
If it ain't broke,
Don't fix it.
there we go.
Will we see him back here again next year for the same thing? We don't know.
All Stars 3.
We don't know.
But do you think it's going to be smooth sailing for them to the final now?
Yeah, absolutely. I think
do.
it's done now.
Now Sammy's gone. Dead weight's been shifted from their relationship.
I feel like since the day Samie walked into that villa, Grace has been counting down the days until she's out of there.
That was the test.
It took 2 days.
It was Luca's test, but I feel like the whole situation was Grace's doing. Not in a bad way.
She said, this is not happening. This needs to be
Yeah.
nipped in the bud
And I rate
now.
her for it. She said,
Yeah.
that's my man.
And
Go
she
away.
also could have gone straight back over to Omar
Exactly that.
when Samie came in.
But she's playing the long game.
Playing the long game. Well done, Grace.
The girl I'd like to couple up with is Tina.
Now, we also saw Chugs. Chugs actually chose Tina in the recoupling, which I don't know if that took anyone by surprise. But, Tina did say that she wasn't initially attracted to him and there wasn't a spark, but she's not going to, cut it off just yet. She's going to do little slow burn vibes. Does slow burning work?
No, and not going to cut it off just yet. There is a meal week to go.
I agree with Amy completely. I feel like if you're doing a slow burn this far in, what's happening here? I think
Yeah.
go with your gut and do you know what I mean? But I guess she can't really. He's chosen her. So
Yeah.
she's got to just go with it and roll with it. But I think we were all like, ugh, when she said that she wasn't initially attracted to him in that way because
Yeah.
you can't really go much
Yeah.
further than that in
You
the villa.
can't. I wish people would just stop.
Yeah.
So I'm getting Naz and Catherine PTSD
You
and
just
I
gotta
don't
stop.
like it,
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're on even numbers now. And although we never speculate on this podcast,
We don't.
we do. We never speculate on this podcast, but we're on even numbers now. And I feel like Chugs and Tina could be at risk of being the next ones to join us on the podcast.
Which
We don't
would
know- we
also
don't-
be very
It'll
lovely
be
to
very
see them.
lovely.
Yeah.
And we don't know when that will be, but I feel like out of all those couples, they are the weakest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think once you start mentioning things like there's no spark or initial attraction, you
Yeah.
start
Yeah.
cutting your time short yourself, really.
Exactly.
Okay, so moving on, we've got the whole situation that happened between Samie, Elma, and Ekin-Su. Now, what happened was Samie went and gave Ekin a cuddle, kind of like, you know what, I'm sorry for pieing you and I just want to clear the air.
Sorry.
Don't apologise, Samie. Samie, don't apologise. Apologise, sorry.
She's covered in pie.
So? Don't
I feel
apologise for
bad.
doing it.
Elma, however, was having absolutely none of it. And Ekin actually started crying, you know? We saw the tears streaming. She did get pied 3 times, which some might say is a lot to take on. What are our thoughts about the whole situation?
My overriding thought about it is, like we say about, you know, Ekin did get pied 3 times, which is hard for anyone to take. The game is called Snog, Marry, Pie. And Ekin's defence for kissing Samie was, the game was, I had to raise everyone's heart rates the most, and that was how I did it. Now, a game is a game is a game, is it not?
It was crossed wires because when you're a guy and you're in that situation where you have to have a physical altercation with a girl, even though it is a game, he was being a gentleman by going over and saying, I just wanted to make sure you're okay, because he literally threw something at her face.
Yeah.
There was obviously crossed wires there because Elma's thought, what are you doing? And she took it the wrong way. And then it obviously has escalated to a point where they've had to sit there and bring up the past, spin the bottle thing. I side with Samie completely with doing what he did. I get why he did it. I just think Elma is a firecracker and that's why we love her. And she was basically saying, don't mug me off. But it was just one of those things. It was just an unfortunate mix-up in the villa. You know?
I think obviously we can tell by the way that Elma reacted. She's still holding a grudge and she's still very
definitely.
sensitive about that situation. I don't fully agree with the way she handled it in terms of the way that she spoke to Ekin, the way that she spoke to Samie and Curtis. However, I think she was looking at it.
I was about to say, wow, when you think about
Anyone
it.
marked safe from Hurricane Elma.
But I feel like she was looking at it from a principal side of things. Like her
Definitely.
and Ekin are friends and she mentioned them being friends from outside the villa. So looking at it was like, as friends,
It's a pride
game or
thing.
not, and you didn't have to snog him. You could have pecked him.
Also, Elma is a Cancerian, like myself.
What is going on here? That's
So
a big word
she
for me.
is very, like, wear your heart on your sleeve. She forgives, but she finds it hard to forget.
Yeah.
And obviously, I've been in the villa only for a short time with Elma, but she's like fiercely loyal and she expects that back from you as well.
Yeah.
And if you don't do it back, she will call you out on it.
And she built trust with Ekin.
Yeah.
And it was really left field what she did in that challenge. So I totally get why.
Yeah.
Just a messy night for Elma, I think, is the main takeaway from last night. For
Yeah.
Sure.
I love how she's finally succumbed to the weather though and is wearing jeans and a jacket.
I'm loving the denim looks this year,
Same.
just saying.
Loads of double denim, isn't it?
Yeah.
Gabby
Loads.
had a
Loving
cute
it.
double
Yeah.
denim
Bring
look.
it back. She had denim heels.
We digress. Ekin actually said to Samie that she looks up to Elma. Now, when I heard that, I thought, oh, Ekin, wait, maybe you've got your words mixed up and maybe you just meant like, you respect Elma?
I'm going to say this is a fact. Ekin looks up to Beyonce. Molly May even, you know. She looks up to Rihanna. Ekin is a powerhouse on the outside world. And I think, as you said, maybe she just went, I really respect you. And it just went, what? Because I thought it was a really strange thing to say.
Then she's a very intelligent girl, Ekin, and I think she knows where she's going with her words. Like when she said to her, I'm sorry if my actions upset you.
Yeah.
And I think that I look up to
Deny,
you.
deny,
I think
deny.
that I look up to you is very, not turning it back on Elma, but being like, I look up to you and now you've done this to me.
She's spinning the power play of the
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
Clever girl, I
Clever.
reckon. I
Yeah.
absolutely, I love the drama.
It would
I love
kind
the
of make
drama.
Elma feel like, oh, why am I actually being mean to you?
Yeah.
Like, you actually
You
like
look up
me.
to
Like,
me.
you don't have any bad intentions. It's kind of like a mind trick kind of
Yeah.
slip. And if she didn't mix up her
Yeah.
words and if that's how she actually meant it.
Yeah.
But hey, we are not inside Ekin's mind.
I'm obsessed with it though.
We are just
Keep us
watching
guessing,
it.
baby. Keep us guessing.
Now, next up, we've got Catherine and Omar. Now, they obviously had a little chat because Omar kissed Tina in the game. And he said, I'm snogging this girl because I kissed her in the game before and I've said there's nothing between me and this girl. So basically, we're saying it was a free pass. Like, once you've already kissed someone, you're not upping your kiss count.
And I feel like when I was watching that last night, I just felt a little fire in my stomach. Maybe because I resonated. And the exact same thing happened to me nearly 3 years ago. I feel like Omar absolutely was not thinking. However, I feel the whole, snogging someone because we snogged before and there's absolutely nothing there. I think it's not about that and it's just a respect thing. And I feel like you should care about your partner's feelings more than you do the game. And even if he was to kiss Tina, it could have been a peck.
I would just
There's
wanted
no
to
rule.
say, I wanted to add in there, a lot of the other guys were doing a forehead kiss. So it was a
Yeah.
bold move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he could have said, oh, we kissed before, I'm just going to, appease this situation.
Yeah,
but
for
he
sure.
went
Full
full smoochy
blown.
smooch.
But then if we saw a line of all of them giving someone a peck on the cheek.
Then it wouldn't be good to watch, would it, Amy?
It would. But also, it's just like, you've seen the other guys put on a show. You don't have to do it.
No.
The show's happened.
And I'm
Keep
for my
yourself to
girl,
yourself.
Catherine.
Yeah.
And I
Yes.
feel
Yeah.
like her journey in the villa has just been kind of these guys picking her up sometimes. And, Montel was kind of in and out.
Yeah.
And I just want her to go, no,
Yeah.
stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no more second chances.
No
It's
more
either-
second chances.
Yeah.
She said there are no more chances.
Good.
Do we believe her?
I do. I mean, there's only a week left.
Yes.
But
I would like to think so.
I would like to think so. And I would like to think that Omar is not going to mess about either, because the way he was speaking to her, he was saying, look, I will never do it again. I'm really, really sorry. It's just sort of like, I wish I didn't have to say sorry. I just wish I didn't do it.
Well, the other night she was bringing up friends and family and like merging lives.
Yeah.
Maybe, like pre-wedding jitters, like where people like go on their
Head and
and they panic and then they kiss someone, whatever.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe that's what he did. Maybe he thought it's going to get serious. I might as well kiss Tina. It might be the last time I do it.
And do you know what? I feel like that is actually a thing, because it's like, where else could he actually kiss Tina or anyone else in that moment?
The
It has to be a
pre-outside
game.
jitters.
Yeah.
Because if he did that outside,
Yeah.
game
And lest
over.
we forget,
Tina.
Tina has now got Chugs.
She's all loved up.
Catherine is safe. Only 2 weeks to go before the big finale, and the stakes in the villa are sky high. Thankfully, our islanders are staying cool in pre-loved fashion. Last week, heads were butting, romances were brewing, and I was living for the Vegas night looks. Me and the islanders couldn't get enough of Tina and Grace's stunning Zara and H&M with Moschino tops, which were the centre of all the chat during the romance roulette game. Clearly, Diamante is a girl's best friend, especially on a night like this. Later on in the week, we also saw Curtis and Ekin-Su adding some drama to their outfits that we were so here for, in a classic House of CB floral bell sleeve dress and a Stussy old flower tee. We definitely know they slayed in pre-loved. Obsessed with all the villa action? Get the island look on eBay today. eBay, sponsors of Love Island All-Stars.
Now, as promised, we are joined by our dumped islanders, Danielle Sellers and Samie Elishi, who are speaking to us all the way from South Africa.
Girls, it's so lovely to have you here with us this morning. We obviously saw you leave last night, gone too soon, both of you. Now, Gabby did say bombshells were bombshelling, and you both bombshelled. How was your time in the villa?
Cool. Do you know what? I describe it as short and explosive.
Yeah, it was amazing. Was interesting, to say the least.
Now, you obviously both went in, like you knew who you wanted to go for when you went in. How have things been left with Grace and with Ekin?
So I had a conversation with Grace and we were fine. But obviously it was just uncomfortable the whole time.
Yeah. And what about Ekin?
And Ekin was weirdly very nice to me.
It's because you were going, babe.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, bye, time for you to go.
The reason we asked about the girls and not the boys is because we don't care about the boys. No offence, Joe. Obviously, it's all about the friendships. We love the friendships. Who did you guys really bond with in there?
I would say Elma. Loved Elma. Do you know what? All the girls, to be fair, the only person that I didn't really gel one-to-one with was Grace.
For obvious reasons.
Which is, understandable.
Yeah.
And obviously my girl Gab.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved her. She absolutely looked after me. And we did it together 8 years ago. So it was just weird to be doing it again together.
What made you want to go back a second time?
It was such a good opportunity the first time round. And it's like a once in a lifetime. And if you get it twice, you're just like, oh, do you know what? I'm single. You might as well just try it again.
You're already a Love Islander.
Exactly.
So.
Get away from the cold weather and all.
Nice little holiday. Obviously, you guys both had your mindset on who you wanted to date when you went into the villa. Would you say now, obviously looking back, there was maybe anybody else you wish you got to know?
No, I'll be honest.
Best, no regrets there.
Slim pickings.
Who would you say your favourite couples are in there?
Gabby and Casey.
Gabby and Casey and Elma and Samie.
Like, we've been watching them out here and we're thinking, actually, maybe they are in for the win.
I think Gabby and Casey could win it, you know.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, I
Maybe.
agree. We love a little dark horse.
Yes, exactly.
And
Yeah,
I
they
feel-
don't do too much. They're quiet, but they're actually really strong together.
Yeah, and they're really funny. When we do see them, it's because they're doing something funny. It's not like with a lot of couples, when you see them, it's because they're having drama and stuff with
they
them.
just
so
get
it's
on
doing
with
something
it.
funny.
They just
Yeah.
laugh.
Is there one sort of standout, if you take the sort of actual love out of it, is there one sort of standout moment that was in there that you'll take with you, sort of leaving that villa, being like, that was so fun, or like that was such like a fab like Love Island moment?
I mean, mine was definitely the hideaway. They've never done that before. So the fact that I got the chance to go in that way without the wrath of Ekin, let's say. Yeah, I loved every minute of that.
Probably Pie and Luca.
Danielle, so obviously we saw how things went with Chugs. Was there anything else that you would want to say to Chugs about how the situation was?
To be honest, I feel like I was kind of pushing that anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely pied him, and I'm so glad that that's come out. But
Yeah.
How did you feel when he ignored you in the game though? Rude.
you know what I mean? I was actually mortified. I thought, at least pie me or something. The fact that you completely ignored me, I thought, wow.
Was he super flirty on the date?
I guess so, but like, I
For
feel like I
him.
wasn't really getting much. He's quite reserved and he's quite quiet anyway. I was just trying to get something from him and wasn't feeling anything, to be honest. I think he felt the same way.
Well, girls, that comes to the end of our conversation. It's been absolutely amazing having you on the morning after and sending lots of love all the way to South Africa. Bye.
Now, Indiyah, you know me, I love a bargain. In fact, if I can save whilst I spend, that makes me almost as excited as watching a recoupling.
Okay, I'm going to need some tips because serving looks on the pod is not cheap.
Well, ITV Kaching is a brilliant new tool from ITV. Once activated on your web browser, it literally finds discounts across 800 of the UK's largest retailers whilst you're shopping.
Wow, I mean, is that going to be quite fiddly?
Not at all. When you're shopping online, ITV Kaching will pop up whilst you're checking out. It brings you the best deals so you save money on your purchases.
That sounds amazing and very easy, but is it expensive?
Nope, it's totally free. You can use it on clothes, your food shop, and even trips abroad.
Okay, well, that's my evening sorted. Me and Dami want to book a new holiday, and that means we're going to have some more spending money to spend on some cute glasses.
Exactly. All you need to do is go to itv.com/kaching, follow the instructions to get it on your browser, and then shop away. Now, last night, the islanders mentioned that it was actually Gabby's birthday. Did you have any birthdays in the villa?
I don't think so. No, not that I remember.
We had Anna's birthday, and we had like candles and we had some balloons for her and stuff, and we wanted to like set it all up nicely. So we wanted to decorate the kitchen. So I was tasked with keeping her upstairs.
Okay.
And she'd lent me this dress and it had like a buckle on it here. So I kept undoing it and going, Anna, I just can't do this dress up. And she was getting really annoyed. And she kept doing it up. So then she'd turn her back and I'd undo it again and be like, oh, it's come undone again.
Turn
just
around,
to try
full
and
boob out.
keep her up, keep her upstairs. And then me and Molly did our song, Fun at the Fire Pit. Which was a song that we had written like for the whole 5 weeks. We'd been in there like every day we had new verses. And every time someone new would come in the villa, we'd be like, Fun at the Fire Pit. Me and Amber would be like, so do you like our song? And they'd be like, what? So we'd be like, they're not showing our song. So I think as a treat, because I did leave the next day, I think they did show our song. We performed it for everyone. And the following week was my birthday. And we'd been like waiting for my birthday the whole time. And obviously I'd gone home. So they did like a toast to me as if I died.
Yeah, I feel like it gives that
memoriam.
energy. I feel like it gives that energy in the villa though, doesn't it?
When someone
when
leaves.
people leave, it's a really somber thing. But at least you got a toast.
Yeah.
That's the main
How would
thing.
you like to celebrate your birthday in the villa?
I think I would do a pool party, given that you have all tools at my disposal to have the party with the pool. And maybe, obviously a couple of drinks. I'd try and persuade them to at least give me maybe another half a drink. 0% WKD, who knows?
Who knows?
Nice.
I think I'd really push for music because that would make my day.
Yeah.
It's quite hard though, isn't it? You've got to be inventive, like you said.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's not really much you can do to spice it up. Like,
Yeah.
I thought for Gabby as well, all we saw was just a happy birthday, Gabby.
Yeah, it
I
was
felt bad for her. I thought like, at least she got a recoupling on her birthday.
A
I guess.
recoupling and a dumping on her birthday.
I know.
Happy birthday.
Nice treat.
Your friend's going home.
Literally.
Goodbye.
Yeah, your besties were going. Bye.
Unfortunately, you know when you're a kid and you're only allowed like a certain amount of people to the party and like the party used to give you this
Yeah.
certain amount of invites, you couldn't invite other people. That's what's happened to Gabby.
That is how it was.
Yeah, I did that at my sister's birthday, actually. I was the young sister, and I remember she was having a party, and my mum was throwing like a barbecue for my sister at hers. And I invited all my friends, and they came with presents. And then all the parents were like, wait, whose birthday
I
is it?
kind of love that.
And I was just there like,
Are you middle child?
I'm the last born.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Let's skip
But
in
also, you are December birthday, aren't you?
Yes, and Shaq is August, so she had all the nice summer.
Yeah.
She got to have the bouncy castle, and I'm in December, so I didn't really get to do much in December, like outdoorsy stuff. So I just invited my friends, just have some friends. I didn't tell them to bring presents.
So my cousins are August and December, and my December cousin, her mum used to throw her a half birthday in the summer so she could have a bouncy castle.
See? So I had the thought, because I wanted the bouncy castle.
I'll add to that. My nan used to buy me and my brother presents on both of our birthdays so that neither of us
was
felt left out.
Yeah.
However, don't agree with that.
No, I don't.
And when I have kids, that won't be happening.
It's not taught you how to live in the world, is it?
What do you mean we both get scooters when it's my brother's birthday? You know what I mean? Like, you don't feel special.
Well, Joe, although I missed 2 days with you, it's been lovely to spend the week with you. I can't believe you're not going to be here next week. But thank you so much for joining us.
I've loved it.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking me in. I've enjoyed it so much. It's been so nice to see you both.
We'll be back next week on ITVX, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Yes, and we will see you on Monday morning with Sam Thompson.